Hey, hello everyone, this is Jan, the Language Boost, and let's talk about why you are not fluent yet in the language that you are learning. Okay, so why is it that you have been learning a language for years, but you don't speak it yet? You see this very often in countries like China or in Russia, but also in Japan, where people have been learning English, for example, for many, many years, and even after 10 years they still struggle to speak it. Why is that? First of all, you have very little opportunity to actually practice your speaking. And I'm from the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, we are a small country. It's easy for us to get to other countries. We get to use our language a little bit more often. So what can you do if you are in such a situation, if you live in a relatively isolated place? Well, it's 2018, and therefore, you see, these days we have so many opportunities to talk, to practice languages online, of course. And, you know, often people say, if you want to learn a language, you need to learn more, you need to study more, you need to practice the grammar. And yes, of course, eventually you need to have a wild vocabulary and you need to know more or less how the language works. But the biggest problem for most of us is a lack of speaking practice. There's many polyglots here on YouTube who also talk about language learning. And basically everyone, as far as I know at least, everyone agrees that the languages that we speak the best are all the languages that we have practiced the most. So if you've been learning English for 10 years and you still can't speak it, or it still doesn't feel natural to speak it, then think about how many speaking practice you've actually had. And in many cases it will turn out that you haven't actually used this language so much. It still doesn't feel natural. And in order for a language to make it feel natural, this really takes a lot. It really takes a lot of time. In language learning, it's easy to learn the basics of a language, to learn a few hundred words, to understand a little bit, but actually to speak it fluently, in order to get to that level, you really need years. It really takes years. It takes a lot of practice. And maybe you know native speakers, but you still feel uncomfortable talking to them. In that case, I would say go to websites like italki, get yourself a tutor, and instead of doing exercises with your tutors, make it more fun. Try to do something natural. Try to tell them what you've done at a certain day or what you're going to do in the future. Tell about yourself. Ask questions to your teacher. Make it a human interaction. Make it something human. You're not a robot. We are social. So I hope that the message is clear. If you've been learning a language for tens of years and you're not fluent yet, this is completely normal. And I can completely understand that. That's not just you. You need to practice your speaking. And don't be afraid to speak. Especially, on the internet you can hire tutors at websites like italki, who you can practice with, and those people are used to people who don't speak their language yet. Once you reach a higher level, you start feeling more comfortable, then you can easily, maybe start going to language exchanges in your city, or speak the target language when you are traveling, of course. That's it for now, just a thought, Many people forget that speaking is actually important. And of course it also depends on your goals, If you just want to be able to read books, you don't care so much about speaking, then don't do it. But I guess the reason why we learn a language is because we want to speak it, right? At least that's why I learn languages. That was it for now. Wish you a good day. Greetings from Bois de la Cambre here in Brussels. Bye bye.